are watching the Friday edition of Platinum Northwest TV News. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us from Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look at the leading top stories. First up, President Cyril Ramaphosa off the hook in the Phala Phala case, and the Northwest hosts the first 7th Administration EXCO planning lekgotla. In the business news, alarm bells for Eskom's new company, and in the sports news, Greece makes history by securing their first win against England. We begin here. The National Prosecuting Authority has decided not to prosecute President Cyril Ramaphosa or anyone in relation to the Phala Phala case stemming from the criminal complaint laid by the former head of State Security Agency Arthur Fraser in 2022. The Director of Public Prosecutions in Limpopo, Advocate Mokali Tenga, made the decision not to prosecute anyone in the Phala Phala case after a comprehensive investigation process that was conducted by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, also known as the Hawks. This decision, dated 10 October 2024, emphasizes that there is no reasonable prospect for a successful prosecution based on the evidence contained in the docket. The economic freedom fighters and the African Transformation Movement are challenging this decision and are actively seeking to revive impeachment proceedings against President Ramaphosa. The Constitutional Court has scheduled a hearing for the 26th of November where both parties will argue that the National Assembly's dismissal of the independent panel's recommendation for an inquiry was unconstitutional. In other news, the leadership of the Northwest provincial government, led by Premier Lazarus Mokgosi, will hold a 2-day EXCO planning lekgotla to identify the provincial government's key priorities for the next 5 years. The EXCO planning lekgotla will be held on Sunday the 13th and Monday the 14th of October at the Key Guest Villa in Orkney. This platform will also afford the leadership the opportunity to deliberate on the draft provincial growth and development strategy, as well as plans to create sustainable jobs and accelerate service delivery. In more news, the Department of Water and Sanitation says it has detected the presence of cholera in the Vaal and Harts River in the Northwest as well as the Northern Cape provinces. The department has advised communities and water users along the Harts and Vaal rivers from Cristiano downstream to be careful when using untreated water. The tests were taken last month during routine raw water sampling from the 5 sites. Here's Wisani Mabasa, the spokesperson for the Department of Water and Sanitation.
The Minister of Water and Sanitation, Minister Pheme Majodina, will be participating on the 9th Africa Water Week and the Cairo 7th Water Week in Egypt from the 13th to the 17th of October 2023. The 9th edition of Africa Water Week and the Cairo 7th Water Week, which will be held side by side, will be hosted by the Government of Arab Republic of Egypt through its Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. This joint event will see hundreds of participants, young minds and institutional knowledge keepers under one roof with a single goal: water and sustainability thereof. The Africa Water Week will be held under the theme Placing Water and Sanitation at the Heart of Achieving Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, while the Cairo Water Week's theme will be Water and Climate, Building Resilient Communities. And the focus of the latter will be to explore the intricate relationships between water and climate, emphasizing on their collective impact on community resilience. The Africa Water Week is an African Ministers' Council on Water's flagship initiative that facilitates dissemination, sharing, networking, and brokering of knowledge and information on water management, as well as water, sanitation, and hygiene services provision in Africa. During a visit, Minister Majodina will attend high-level plenary sessions and also meet her counterpart, the Egyptian Minister of Water, Resources and Irrigation. Minister Majodina will also participate and deliver keynote addresses to the sessions that will be convened by the Department of Water and Sanitation on the African Transboundary Management Benchmarking and Youth, Gender and Social Inclusion workshops, among the 40 sessions that will be taking place during the 2 conferences. Expressing her enthusiasm to the upcoming conferences, Minister Majodina said, as a country, we are standing on a defining moment as climate change is the lead conversation, with rising sea levels that increase chances of floods, its impact on drought, and changing weather patterns that forces changes in agricultural productions. and all this impacts us all globally. Minister Majodina further emphasized that as a country, we are constantly working towards Goal 6 of the Sustainable Development Goal, which seeks to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all.
Moving on to international news now, former United States President Barack Obama slammed Donald Trump as a divisive figure who does not care about Americans during a campaign rally for the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. Speaking in Pittsburgh on Thursday evening, Obama said that the United States does not need 4 more years of ex-President Trump in the White House.
So I understand people feeling frustrated and feeling we can do better. What I cannot understand is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you, Pennsylvania. I don't understand that. Because there is absolutely no evidence that this man thinks about anybody but himself. I've said it before. Donald Trump is a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. You've got the tweets in all caps, the ranting and the raving about crazy conspiracy theories. You got the 2-hour speeches, word salad, just, it's like Fidel Castro, just on and on. Constant attempts to sell you stuff. Who does that? Selling you gold sneakers and a $100,000 watch and most recently a Trump Bible. He wants you to buy the Word of God, Donald Trump edition. Got his name right there next to Matthew and Luke. I mean, you could not make this stuff up. If you saw it on Saturday Night Live, you'd say, well, no, that's going too far. No, he's doing that. It's crazy. And the reason he does it is because all he cares about is his ego and his money and his status. He's not thinking about you. Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than a means to an end. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him and his country club buddies. Doesn't care if he costs more women their reproductive freedoms because it won't make a difference in his life. Do not boo. Vote. They can't hear your boos, but they can hear your votes.
The event marked Obama's first appearance on the campaign trail for Harris as the election race heats up, with less than a month before the November 5th polls. Recent polls show that Harris locked in neck-and-neck fight with Trump to win the White House, with the outcome likely to come down to how candidates fare in each swing states such as Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, and North Carolina. Let's take a look now at the business news. In the business news, Eskom has established a new company, but there are some serious questions over whether it will be fully independent. Earlier this week, the National Transmission Company of South Africa, NTCSA, was finally created, marking a crucial step in transforming the nation's electricity market. The NTCSA is designed to manage the transmission of electricity nationwide. This will end Eskom's longest-standing monopoly on generation and enable different 7 power generators to sell electricity to various customers. The NTCSA will also control the transmission network, including power lines, transformers, and the system operator. It plans to invest 112 billion rand over 5 years, which could unlock roughly 11,000 megawatts of new connections. And that's all from the business news. Up next, we wrap up with esports. In sporting news, Greece has made history by securing their first ever win against England thanks to 2 second-half goals, including a dramatic winner in added time. Meanwhile, France reduced the gap behind Italy in Group A2 with a convincing 4-1 win. And in Rome, Italy's Lorenzo Pellegrini received a red card, turning the tide against Belgium. The Azzurri started strong with Andrea Cambasio and Matteo Retegui scoring early. Moving on to rugby news now, the Sharks have made 2-time World Cup winner Trevor Nyakane in the starting 15 for the United Rugby Championship match against Benetton in Treviso this weekend. The 35-year-old who won World Cups with the Springboks in 2019 and 2023 replaces another Springbok, Ntutu Komkunu, in the Sharks run-on team this weekend. The Stormers are clearing up for a possible backlash from the Scottish side Edinburgh when the two teams collide in the United Rugby Championship clash at Hive Stadium on Saturday evening. Edinburgh have enjoyed a tough start to the season and currently sit second from the bottom on the log after losing their opening 3 games. The Lions are aiming to pick up at least 2 wins out of 3 from their tour to the UK and Italy as they target a place in the United Rugby Championship top 4 come the end of the season. Meanwhile, the Bulls have made a strong start to the 2024-2025 United Rugby Championship season, winning their opening 2 games against Edinburgh as well as Ulster. And that's a wrap from us for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again on Monday evening. Till then, have a blessed weekend. Good night and take care.